Good morning. I am 4 minutes earlier today. As you can see, we're still having some serious wind, but hopefully the internet will work and we can do our practice today together. So let me try to see if the sound is working. The wind is so strong. The internet is definitely slow, but hopefully it won't drop. We're still having. Okay, the sound works. That's good news. Now, local tagging. It's always an adventure. Nope, the tagging is not working. Well, I just hope you will find the ways here. Alright, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mary. Man, the internet, I'm trying to tag people on my computer and it's super slow. Hope it doesn't drop because as you can see, we're still having quite a bit of wind. Not in August is so weird. Good morning, Sandra. Yes, Sandra, the sky is beautiful today. And I love the weather. My internet doesn't love it. All right, it is time for us to start. So let's dive into it. And if my internet doesn't work anymore, if it drops, well, I'm sorry, my internet does not like this. So Theoretically, we all want to move toward a global society in which loving kindness and compassion rule. And of course, it's a very worthy aspiration. But in reality, our common tendency is to see the people around us as quote unquote others, as fundamentally different from us. So often, out of our fears, we find ourselves relating to particular individuals or entire groups of people with prejudice or just indifference without any particular loving feelings. Ultimately, there are a lot of cultural assumptions that encourage us to act according to this mentality. For one, we live in a competitive, individualistic culture where success is often seen as triumphing over others. Alternatively, we think that repressing parts of ourselves that are culturally undesirable, such as emotional states like anger and anxiety, will lead to happiness. So rather than doing what psychologist Jonathan Haidt refers to as stepping outside of our moral material and seeing others as fundamentally relating to everyone else, we think that we have no choice but to meet anger with anger or separate ourselves from others in order to feel a sense of freedom. Seeing others and then as an objectified them makes us feel stuck. If we think of others in such a static, two-dimensional way, we also keep ourselves from ever accessing a fresh perspective, a new way to relating to our experiences, to ourselves, and ultimately to them, all of those people who we don't really know and objectify very often. Respecting differences while gaining insight into our essential connectedness, we can free ourselves from the impulse to rigidly categorize the world in terms of narrow boundaries and labels. This reminds me of Tara Brach's teachings on radical acceptance. Within that framework, she talks about something she calls unreal other. Here's an excerpt from her book Radical Acceptance. Because involvement with our personal desires and concerns prevents us from paying close attention to anyone else, those around us, even our family and friends, can become unreal, two-dimensional cardboard figures, not really humans with wants and fears and throbbing hearts. We treat them, we treat these unreal others as supporting characters for the movie of our life where we play the leading role. And really, the true objective of meditation and mindfulness, the one that goes beyond lowering our blood pressure or making us less agitated, is to viscerally know our oneness. Then there will be no unreal others. There will be no others at all, period. Sharon Salzberg says that the first step toward feeling compassion for others is to set the intention to simply try it out. Regardless of whether we have certain fears or feelings of aversion when considering this idea, we can relish the experience of exercising our minds and hearts. While we may be biologically wired to look for differences between ourselves and others, we can also accept that there is validity in experimenting with new habits, wisdom that results from encouraging ourselves to learn and expand. And this works very well for groups we may harbor resentment toward, as well as individuals. This process, of course, requires patience. Opening our shuttered hearts has its own timetable. Often we may spend a while just going through the motions, feeling as if we're getting nowhere fast. And yet, with a clear intention and a willing spirit, sooner or later, we experience the joy and freedom that arises when we recognize our common humanity with others and see that real love excludes no one. The good news is that there is no need to begin this process with a harsh sense of discipline. Sharon Salzberg says that she has students tell her they feel bad or inadequate upon realizing that love for others doesn't spring forth from their hearts like water in a babbling brook just because they choose to do loving kindness practice. In reality, finding this boundless love is not the result of a goal-oriented search. It's a result of practice. We experiment with what it feels like to treat others with kindness when we succeed as much as when we fail. We open our eyes to the suffering and joy of those we see in line for security in the airport as much as we do to our family members. We challenge ourselves to see that kindness is really at the core of what it means to be and feel alive. None of this is easy. Learning the practice of loving kindness can challenge our emotional fabric in ways you cannot even imagine. But then we begin to notice just how much we're all conditioned to entangle ourselves in judgments, assumptions, fears, and stories. This act of noticing is actually a part of real love. We see that we can set the intention to stretch past these habits we've gotten used to, both internally and as a result of familial, circumstantial, and overarching societal factors. Not because we are doing something phony, or because we're trying to force ourselves to be hypocritical or pretentious and just love everybody. No, we stretch because as human beings with capacity for real love, we simply can. We learn to move and breathe in a new way until we realize one day how much stronger it makes us. So today, let's do another full loving kindness practice together, including all those people who may seem like unreal others to us at this moment, stretching our minds and hearts beyond the habitual matrix to find our full capacity for real love. So take a comfortable position and, as always, take a few moments to settle. Settle into your body, your heart, your mind. Settle into this moment, right here, right now. Let your breath be natural and soft. See if you can sense some spaciousness in your breathing so that all the experiences of the present moment can flow through you as energy without struggle. And let's start by sending loving kindness to ourselves. Repeat after me, silently or out loud. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and mind. May I feel safe, protected, at ease. May I know deep, natural peace. And now you can choose to either stay with this step, sending loving kindness to yourself, or if you're ready to expand your energy to include other people, bring to mind somebody you love dearly, a friend or a family member, somebody who it's very easy for you to send loving kindness to. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well in body and mind. May you feel safe, protected, at ease. May you know deep, natural peace. Now bring to mind a benefactor, somebody who is a positive influence in your life, and start sending loving kindness to them. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well in body and mind. May you feel safe, protected, at ease. May you know deep, natural peace. Now bring to mind a neutral person, one of those unreal others, as Tara Brach calls them. Somebody you may be seeing every day, but won't really pay attention. Start sending loving kindness to them. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well in body and mind. May you feel safe, protected, at ease. May you know deep, natural peace. Now think of a challenging person in your life. Again, when considering this person, you may be seeing them as this unreal other, not really human, with wants and needs and a throbbing heart. Two-dimensional cardboard figure. Even if that's the case, send loving kindness to them, and as you do this, notice what comes up for you. Don't worry if this feeling of warmth and love doesn't spring out of your heart just because you're choosing to do loving kindness for them. Remember, it's all about practice. Simply recite the phrase, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well in body and mind. May you feel safe, protected, at ease. May you know deep, natural peace. And finally, include all living beings in your loving kindness, all of the humans and all of the non-humans, all of those who seem real to you, close and dear, and all those unreal others. May all living beings be filled with loving kindness. May all beings be one in body and mind. May all beings feel safe, protected, at ease. May all beings know deep, natural peace. And now, as you gently let go of your practice, as always, scale your body. Notice what's going on for you physically, emotionally, mentally. How are you, really? As you go through the day today, I invite you to continue this reflection. How many people in your life do you view as these two-dimensional, cardboard figures, the unreal others? Can you start stretching your mind and heart beyond this habitual matrix of our conditioning? Because as a human being, you simply can't do this. And because the resulting reward is tremendous, a new way of living, a new way of loving, a visceral knowing of your capacity for real love. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a gorgeous day, and I will see you tomorrow.